Hello. Okay.
Hello!
Hi.
Hello, everybody! Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Yes, this is a YouTube stream. I don't normally do YouTube streams before I've done Twitch streams. But, considering the new state of Twitch, and also, who owns the company of it right now, I'm gonna try out YouTube
Thought it
and
was
see if that works
Amazon.
out. Yes. Speaking of which, to date this episode, it's been a bit. We are currently right after TwitchCon. TwitchCon just happened. For all of the MCYTers out there. And it was a disaster. And a lot of bullshit happened. And everybody is upset. So, to bring the topic relevancy, I was like, you know what? I should try doing YouTube instead. Also, it makes my life easier because I don't have to re-upload the videos onto YouTube, which takes up a bunch of time. So there you go. We're gonna see how that goes. I'm learning it because it works differently than Twitch does. So there you go.
You're good.
Also, to add on to some things to update a little bit, because every time I like to talk about the recent happenings in the community. Dreamface revealed. Everybody was hype about it. Mads did a whole freak out stream if you want to watch that. Over on their channel. Sinophil, or however you want to pronounce it. Which was very fun. Also, before that, Wilbur's Dream SMP finale happened, in which he quote-unquote went home, and his home was Utah, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
So, that's where that's coming from.
So he's from Utah, and he went back to Utah, and he's just like a normal dude, like, isekai motherfucker, like, he's rotated in my brain a million times over, which, imagine finding this out, I don't know if I've shared this on stream before, or not, I am from Utah. So imagine my surprise when I heard that Wilbur Soot had his Minecraft character go to Utah. Like real life fucking Utah. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is this? I'm still not over it. And it is just the reality that we are living in now. So yeah. That is great. I want to write a fic of like Wilbur Soot in Salt Lake City or something. I have so much material. But yeah. Anyways, today I am joined by Phil, who or also known as HypocrititcalPhilosophy, as that is your full username.
It's a mouthful, I know.
I started calling them Phil just because it's funny, because Phil's a Minecraft, and I was like, oh, everybody's gonna mix it up, and that's why it's funny. That's why I do it. I want you to be mixed up. I want you to be confused. So, this is Phil. Say hello.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
So, I'm sorry, I'm losing track. I'm listening to the stream audio and I'm super loud compared
to me. Do you want me to turn you down?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. That should be a little bit better.
Yeah, because I'm like about double your volume.
There you go. That should be a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll just give it a C.
Because of the fucking delay.
Yeah, that's about, yeah, I know, it takes a bit, but yeah, now it's about the same volume.
Nice.
So now I'm just gonna mute it because the delay is really catching me off, because it's like a 2 to 3 second delay when I'm hearing it versus when I'm talking. Or when
yeah, no, that'd be incredibly disorienting.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, you do not have to continue the torture on yourself.
Right? But yeah, I was just like, I want to say it, but also I should wait. I want to say it. No, wait. Just wait. Anyways. But yeah, I'm Hypocritical Philosophy. I plan to do some streaming for a new upcoming server that Becca and a group of us will be doing. I just got to finish up a bit of coding, double check some things, and we should be in business soon. We don't have any sort of release date and plan yet, but once everything is finalized and we give everyone like a time to actually schedule and free up some small bracket of their time of the day, if we can even call it that.
Stress.
Then hopefully, right? And hopefully we can get things up and settled.
Yay! I love it when
Right?
things are settled. Oh my god. Yeah, we totally haven't been working up to this for a very long time. It's fine.
Oh yeah, no, totally not.
It's fine. We're just doing a little side thing. It's fine. I see that cat face. Don't think I don't see the chat right now.
Right.
Yeah, feel free to type in the chat, because I can see you, and I'm looking at you with my eyes.
Yep, we did see you.
I like the interaction. We don't have very much interaction, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So
in due time, my dear friend.
In due time. But yeah, that's all we're gonna say on that for now. But just eyebrow wiggle. Aside from that, I've known Phil for like a few years now, at least like one or two.
I think it's just a singular year.
It's just 1 year.
I will check. Give me like.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, it says that I joined in May 2020. So yeah, it hasn't even been a year.
Well, it's like over a year. It's like a little over a year because it's 2022 and that was 2020.
I screwed up the date. It is 2022.
Yeah.
May 14th, 2022.
Yep. You're absolutely
destroyed. Yeah, no, it's I screwed up.
Yeah, I am secretly outside of Dravy's window at this moment. Just spying. No, I'm not actually, but unless. Don't call the cops.
Are you sure you got your blinds closed? Right. Blinds closed, doors locked. Oh wait, I think you forgot one. Maybe. Of course, if we can't settle for murder, we can always settle for the red room.
Yeah. It's more entertaining that way. You wish we were just in the walls.
Right?
I have more sense to hide than to hide in the walls with the rats. I don't want to intrude on the rats.
Right. We don't need another bubonic plague going on.
Anyways, so yeah, I've known Phil for like a bit over a year, maybe.
It's still less than a year, actually.
It's been over a year. I swear it has.
It feels like over a year.
Because you said 2020. No,
I screwed up.
Yeah, because you said 2020.
It's 2022. It's actually 2022.
Yeah.
If you click my name, it tells you when I first joined.
Bro, no.
Yeah.
No, it has to have been over a year.
No, May 14th, 2022.
Fuck you. Well, in the alternate reality that I live in, I've known Phil for a little over a year.
Yee!
We chat about fics and stuff sometimes. Phil is one of those people in the Minecraft community that like watches some of the Minecraft content, but like is more so into the fandom, if that makes any sense. Do you think that's accurate?
Well, kind of. It's really hit and miss depending on the mood, because I reach points where I spike in one section and then like after a month or so I dip. So for a while I was super into watching animatics, dipped. Super into watching live streams, dipped. Back to animatics, dipped. Fanfic, dipped.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just like very much a roller coaster of fandom experience. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's yeah.
We have.
I will go wide periods without it, and then I'll remember. Oh wait, I was into that.
Wait a second, I want the angst.
Yes, of course.
The angst.
My favorite.
Yes. We have a mutual friend. Phil has known them longer than I have, but we have a mutual friend who likes to write angst stuff, and Phil very much gets fed that way.
They do. They feed me so well. Oh, actually, I think they feed me tomorrow as well.
Hey.
I know that's like a weird sentence to say, but to my defense, their writing is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I read the I finally read the big fic. I don't know if I read all the way through it. I think like at the very end I petered off for some reason. I'm not 100% sure, but I read at least most of it.
Yee.
And it was good. We were there in the writing room when it was being made, and
Well, if it ain't Phil, yeah. What do you expect?
We were there in the writing room when it was being made, but then like I didn't my perception of what was actually being made was not what is actually being made, you know? But I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm,
It was just different than what I thought it was. But it's great.
E.
Hey, Les. I love you. Oh, it's a monkey noises, monkey noises. Fuck yeah. Welcome, I appreciate it.
Right?
But yeah, so we mutually bond over our love of fanfic writing. And angst stuff.
Yeah, angst definitely. That's yep.
So, because of that purpose, and also the fact that Phil is one of the few people I talk to that actually knows hermitcraft stuff, because most of them are into Dream SMP, cough mads.
Which is fair, yeah.
I decided to try reading this fic with Phil today, which is,
By the way, by the lovely art, I'm absolutely excited.
Thank you. I made the art a while ago. I've been wanting to read this for a while, although I found out that somebody had made what do you call it? An audiobook version. Somebody had made an audiobook version of it, and I was very saddened because it was like the stark realization of I will never be an original creator. And it was
You're original in your own special way.
Yeah. But yeah, there's always
you may
gonna
not be first, but you can always add your own spin to something.
That is 100%. That is 100% true. I just have to trek on, regardless of whether or not I think I am a cool ass bitch.
Last I checked, I didn't realize many people were, but I thought you were included in that small percentage.
Oh, why thank you. You are as well. You fucker.
Right?
But yeah, I've heard the audiobook is actually really good, so if you want to check it out, you can. Like, I'm not gonna stop you. Like, good shit is good shit. Like, go read it if you want to, or listen, because it's an audiobook.
Right?
Like, we are not professional readers. Like, we make different content.
Yep, for sure. A lot of mine's just gonna be streaming, maybe some edits and not edits, some short VODs and stuff, but
Minecraft. But yeah, so the fic we're reading today is called "This Is About a Stuffed Bird," which is a weird title. It's like those.
It makes me excited in a few different ways.
Yeah,
go on.
It's a title that's like it's like those anime that are like surprisingly good, even though they don't feel like they're gonna be good, because the title is weirdly specific. It's like I don't know if there's a good example I can think of, but like one that has
I can.
Yeah, do you have an example?
I was thinking the devil is a part-time worker.
Yeah, or like there's other stuff. Like there was like I thought the anime was okay, but there was like that time I got reincarnated as a slime, or like
I read the manga, which was really interesting. It just sort of dragged at the beginning for me.
I liked the beginning more, honestly.
Okay.
I like town building.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Once the naming part, like after the town started to build up, the original humor is what threw me off. Like the first or second chapter.
Yeah.
Just the humor wasn't hitting me right, but the rest of it was smooth sailing.
That makes sense. Oh, I got called cool by Dravy. Oh. I'm clutching my chest.
Yee!
Sniffle.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I heard something in my chest and I'm like, oh, like brooding? That's what some birds do. I'll shut up now.
No, I think that's great. Yes, I am a bird. I am bird, I go burr.
Yep, and definitely the honest honor. The highest honor.
Tweet. But yeah, so this fic, is a apocalyptic AU that is mumbo jumbo centric. One of the Hermitcraft people, if you do not know. He's great. He does redstone. We love him.
Yep.
He hasn't been in a video in like over a month, and we're really sad about it.
Aren't we all? A wondrous loss.
We cry every day about Mumbo Jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's out biking somewhere, so he'll maybe be back? Question mark. We will
he'll
see.
Be back.
It's fine.
Maybe.
But yeah, so
the last time that was the community post. Oh yeah, he was just okay. Nothing. I'll shut up. I was just looking up the.
You're good.
Posts.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're the one that's actually like being able to look through shit right now because I have to manage the stream. But yeah, so there's not too many characters, but that's because of the kind of story that it is. It's you don't necessarily have to have a deep understanding of Hermitcraft in order to like it, because it deviates greatly from the original content that it is inspired from. If that makes any sense. It's kind of like its own original story that uses the characters as a conduit, is what I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah. I guess the only thing we can do is bring up the page.
Right? So am I reading it from the YouTube, or should I open it up on my own side?
Whatever you think would be easier for you. I could also, stream it through Discord for you.
Discord quality is not the best.
That's fair, honestly.
Let me just open it up on... Because fortunately, Cake Browser opens it in, a dark mode, so it's not bright. Which is nice for me, because I don't do well with bright stuff.
I've brought up the screen.
Hey.
I zoom it in more than usual just so, somebody can feasibly maybe read along. That shrunk it. I don't want
It's
that.
very clear, so that works.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay, no, it's good now. It's good now. It shrunk for a second because I moved it to my other screen. There we go. Would you be able to read that, or is it too small?
I'm able to read it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to put in the name of the fic into
the search
really
bar.
Quick.
Okay.
Yeah. There it is. Do you have it so it's chapter by chapter, or do you have it on okay, so I'll just put on...
I do chapter by chapter because I want to have natural stopping points, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, we aren't going to be able to get through the whole thing in one sitting. For sure. It's too long.
That's only 78,000. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's only 78,000. Yeah. Yeah, as Drew said, yes, we will bring up the pain 100%. You are going to feel suffering, and that is the mood. We're going to be prepared.
I am always prepared.
78K is more than nothing. It is a lot more than nothing. Okay.
What do you mean it ain't nothing? Oh wait, I'm reading that wrong. I'm in the wrong context.
Okay,
wait.
I normally skip the summary, just because it usually is an excerpt of part of the fic, and I don't like rereading it. Although this seems more just like a general fic summary, so we'll read that so you get an idea of what you're getting into. First of all, though, let's go through the tags. Yeah, I love gore and horror.
Right?
So, graphic depictions of violence, major character death. Just gonna put those two in there. Yeah, that's great. We love that. Despite that, though, only teen and up audience rating.
So it's not gonna be descriptive body horror.
Sadly. It is gonna be more horror,
Right?
more horror-esque, just like not super descriptive.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
So just, if you don't want that, maybe just be prepared to click off or wait until timestamps or whatever the fuck. I haven't, there hasn't been a time where I've, put content warnings on specific parts of the chapters in my comments, but if I find an easier way to do that, I might start doing that. We'll see.
I would say like a pinned comment at the bottom where it has like the timestamps of, oh, here's this thing if it's like a trigger warning or something like that.
Yeah, I might do that if it's something that's like very distinctly different than the rest of the fic. But I don't know. Category general. So you're not gonna find romances.
No. It's for the general audience.
Fandom Hermitcraft, because this is Hermitcraft Central 1. And it focuses on the friendship between Mumbo Jumbo and Evil Shizuma, which we're just gonna if you don't know who Evil Shizuma is, it's in Hermitcraft, Shizuma is one of the players. He is specifically the admin of the server. And like a few seasons ago, I don't know how many, but it was like a good number of seasons ago, he made a character that was basically an alternate, basically like an evil version of himself to do evil things. And and like people like to say that Evil Shizuma is like his twin. So
I'm pretty sure that's season 7, but I don't know for sure.
I think he first appeared in like season 5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like he was there in definitely there in like season 8. Had a big presence in season 8. Is it gay, platonically gay? That is up for audience interpretation. That is for audience interpretation. That's all I'm gonna say. But it is not a romance fic. Getting into some of the tags. So, alternate universe, post-apocalyptic. Note that the major character death is neither of the listed leads. So it's side characters. But it's still big characters' death.
Right? Nice.
It has science fiction and fantasy elements, which I'm happy about. But it's a modern setting. So think of it as like modern city setting-esque.
Yeah.
Apocalypse road trip. Both Green and Shizuma are important, but not around enough for tags.
I like how you purposely missed. No beta. We don't like the entire Big Eyes crowd did, apparently.
I watched Hermitcraft and I don't know when that was. I am lost. Apparently they, you know what? We die like the Big Eyes crew, okay?
Yeah, apparently.
But yeah,
and body horror.
And body horror, just like a little bit at the end, just a little bit at the end.
Just a little nudge. Oh yeah, and there might be body horror.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a tack on. Okay.
Let's read the summary. Before I do, I just wanted to say real quick, I follow the author on Tumblr, and they're very cool, and they write a lot about Joe Hills, who is their blorbo. So it's very great. I like their writing. They have some other things I might want to check out. Go check them out if that sounds interesting to you. They're poggers. Okay, summary. in which Mumbo Jumbo crosses several towns, learns some creative methods of self-defense, fights some monsters, sees things no human is meant to have seen, befriends a stranger, steals multiple cars, has inconvenient moral scruples, grows increasingly terrified at his own culpability in the apocalypse, grows a spine, blows up at least one building, accidentally prevents a murder, and attempts to find his best friend in the futile but ever-burning hope the man is still alive. He has to say, he's so exhausted and terrified that he thinks he might just be mad? ? Or, the one where, after most of humanity turns into a series of terrifying monsters, Mumbo decides he's going to risk his life on an apocalypse road trip to try and find if Green is alive. Things, as you might imagine, dissolve from there. Or devolve from there. To be proper in my English. Also, they have some translations into other languages. That's cool.
Ooh. Neat.
We aren't going to read those because I sadly am limited in my language, but that's cool as fuck. So, with the reading, we haven't discussed this beforehand. Sometimes I like to.
Yeah, I was about to ask, wait, do we read per... Do we read per... Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, you're good. I usually like to do, like, we switch off every, like, 3 paragraphs. So every, like, every 3 paragraph indents. Who do you want to voice? Your voice is very high, and both of the leads are male characters.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So which one do you want to be?
Whichever one you don't want to be. I'll have to figure it out.
I do want to be Mumbo. Mumbo talks to the most.
Okay, then be Mumbo.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna be Mumbo. I'm gonna be Evil Shizuma.
Wait. You just said you wanted to be Mumbo.
Wait, no, I said if you want to be Mumbo. Do you want to be Mumbo or do you want to be Evil Shizuma?
The train wreck already started and we haven't even gotten anywhere yet.
Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna vote this to the chat. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, chat. Put a 1 if you think that Phil should voice Mumbo, and put a 2 if you think Phil should voice Evil Shizuma. I'm just gonna wait. We're just gonna see. I'm gonna... Time to cry. Let's see if anybody responds. If nobody responds in like a minute...
Men don't exist!
Men do not exist.
Wait, Beck, you don't?
What?
What?
Oh no! I'm fading into the void.
2.
I'm no longer here. I am a ghost. I am no longer here. I have died. Okay, 2. Okay, so I am voicing Mumbo and you're voicing Evil Shizuma.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
I'm trying so hard to work my voice down from its higher pitch.
You don't have to work that down.
Know.
Like, if you can't do it, that is okay. I just think it's hilarious. Like, it's so not gonna match, but it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you want to start?
I don't.
Oh, jeez. Do you want to start or should I still start?
I don't know. Where do you want to start? It starts with Mumbo, so.
Well, it's from his POV, but like he isn't saying any dialogue.
True.
So true. I can start and then you can switch off.
Okay. All right.
Mumbo's computer keeps. We gotta get in the mood. Mumbo's computer keeps on flickering at him like an accusation. Of course, he doesn't know how much longer he'll have power. So far, he's been lucky. The power plants supplying power to his house haven't shut down yet, and he's charged so many of the power packs he's hoarded over the years that he's pretty sure he can keep both his phone and his company pager working. He has solar power bricks too, so ideally, once his power goes out, he'll still be able to communicate. assuming that there's anyone left in the world to communicate with. He hasn't opened his door in several days. Last time he tried, well, suffice it to say, it didn't really go well. He'll have to leave at some point. He needs food? Food that isn't the collection of instant soup and energy bars that he had stacked for when he didn't want to have to do anything fancy while working, which is all the time. So he does have food and drinks, and really, he could probably last another month or so without going anywhere, even though he'd get very, very tired of soup and energy bars. His computer flickers at him. Oh, you're right. Thank you for indicating to me that this is your turn. There you go.
No, you're fine. The way I read is I have my lines at the bottom of my screen anyways. So it helps anyways for me to keep pace.
Also, to answer Jeremy's question, yes and yes, but not fully. Not entirely. That is not entirely the mood today. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, something about this writer that I really liked, that I'm remembering now as we are reading, is that they are very good at writing internal monologues for people. Like, reading the internal monologue of Mumbo Jumbo feels like you are reading Mumbo Jumbo's thoughts. Like, it feels like Mumbo even though he's not talking. And it's very great. Like, the character voices are great.
Mm-hmm.
So, you like that it's more what?
Personalized. Personalized was the word I was looking for. Instead of it just being like, character does this is the result of the action, here is some details of said action. It is bit by bit the personalization of, it's like, he questions, there's questioning in there. Like, he needs food that isn't a collection of instant soup and energy bars. Like, the question is, like, does he really need it? Well, he has this, but it would be nice if he had some more.
Mm-hmm.
That was just what I'm
like...
Yep.
It's the...
Sorry.
But yeah, it's very much like the... It's not a plain writing style. It's very much like... It's very much like... It's speaking as if he is thinking about it to himself. Right, like, he's like, do I need food? Well, I have this. Like you said, like, it's like his actual thought pattern. And I love it. It's very good. Okay.
Question from the chat. Pronouns for the night.
We'll go he, him for now.
Fair enough. All right. Hey, ready?
Yeah.
His computer flickers at him. He has not turned it off of his chat messenger in the time since he got the last message he's gotten on it. It's safe here. Compared to outside, it's definitely safer, at least. No one has successfully broken down his door yet. That's probably good. He's not sure his neighbors know his apartment is actually occupied, though. Maybe if they get desperate, they really will break in. And given what the last neighbor he saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm skipping over it.
You're good.
Given what the last neighbor he saw looked like, he is probably a bit concerned about what happens if someone breaks into his apartment. He's never been so glad he cheaped out on windows. He means, imagine if he were out there. If he hadn't had enough bookcases to block up the windows, then he really doesn't know what he would do. So he can just stay here. It's safe here. He'll slowly starve to death on soup, sure, but that's probably like he die a lot faster going outside, right? Wait, whose voice is Grian?
We didn't decide. Since you're voicing evil Shizuma, I feel like you should also voice Grian.
Okay, fair enough. It literally said on the top. Well, wait, no, that was for Zumia, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
So
green.
it's just, do I say the name as well or just the chat message?
I'll say, no, you say the name and then the message.
Okay.
We'll figure this out. Chatbots are so weird to figure
Right?
out. Like, it's hard to figure out a pattern.
Yeah, I think I'll just, like, for chat messages, when they come up, I'll try to do something neutral because it's not like an actual voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if we're already naming, like, who is chatting, so.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah. Green, be right back.
Right.
Or is it just BRB? How do people...
I like saying BRB. I am internet drenched. I say things like Lamau in real life. Like I don't say laugh out loud. Like I just say Lamau. Like deadpan.
Yeah. And for me, I always internally say what it is, like SMG, submachine gun. Why was that the first example to come to mind?
Well, you're playing like a Call of Duty or like a Team Fortress 2 or whatever, you know?
No. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Machine
Oh,
guns.
fuck.
But no, yeah. Okay, I'll continue reading.
Okay, I'll try to shut up.
No, you're good.
So try not.
Yeah, we very much say the. I'll be like lol. XD.
Right?
Ew woo. Ew woo. Oh whoa.
Oh, well.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Right. He's fine. He's fine here. And he's not. His computer flickers horribly at him. That last conversation, that last message. 3:36 p.m. He had tried to call. He had. Mobo didn't just let his friends vanish, and he tried to call, and then Green hadn't answered, and Mobo wished they still lived remotely near each other. Mobo wishes that they had visited each other in person in the past 2 years. Mobo plays with his earrings. Maybe he could have checked right then, and then everything would have been, well, probably not fine, really, considering what's outside of Mobo's door, but there's pounding on his door. Mobo swallows. He hears scratching, pounding. Please don't be strong enough to break the deadbolt. Please don't be strong enough to break the deadbolt, please. Please. The scratching stops.
Scratching stops.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Sorry.
You're good. Say what you're gonna say.
The scratching stops. Mumbo slumps against the ground and plays with his earrings. He's run out of time, hasn't he? He's running out of anything resembling time. He could barricade his apartment further, sure, and he's quite good at inventing things, but he's running out of time, incredibly quickly, for some measure of time. His computer flickers accusingly at him. He's running out of time, and he's running out of time to do the one thing he probably needs to do, too. He needs food eventually. He waits for the scratching to leave his door, makes himself soup, and breathes. He can stay here. He can. It's better than outside, at least. Safer here. It's safer.
I love how you're getting in the dramatics.
I'm doing so well, damn it!
Okay. Soup, Mumbo decides, sort of tastes like mud when you're an anxious mess, and also it's all you've had to eat for like a week. Mind you, that might just be that microwave instant soup can only really be but so good, and that he doesn't really normally pay attention to what it tastes like anyway, so he just buys something he knows he'll willingly eat and doesn't consider making sure the soup is varied or anything. And he doesn't mind. He doesn't even normally notice. But when you don't have much else to focus on but the soup and your impending demise, mud. Absolutely and entirely like mud. He shovels mud like chicken noodle soup into his mouth anyway, though. You know, this is the closest to regular meals he's had in a while. He tends to forget while he's working, but it's pretty hard to forget when he's trying not to. He hears something scream.
It's fine. He's fine. He'll keep eating his mud soup or chicken noodle, not mud. If he starts calling it mud soup, then, well, he's going to want to eat at all. He's not going to want to eat at all, and that wouldn't be good, now would it? Really, he's lucky. Here, what with the electricity is still on, and his microwave still working, and his computer is still glowing like an accusation on his desk. He could probably even access the internet and get something. He uses an Ethernet connection after all, rather than
Ethernet.
wireless.
It's Ethernet. Am I
What
wrong?
did I say?
You said Ethernet? You're good.
Ah!
Phil is prideful because they're the one that normally knows technology.
For me, I thought it was always the debate, like data and data.
Mm-hmm.
I stick with data.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought Ethernet and Ethernet?
Ethernet, yeah. Oh no, did you cut out?
No.
Okay, I was worried for a second. You were just contemplating your
Not
life.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just contemplating. And also, I was trying to figure out where I was because I lost.
Okay. Let me see.
At all, rather than wireless, so he thinks that probably has a better chance of working. He'd gotten it when he'd gotten his new government job, since he'd need to be on the internet so much more, working from home.
Is that me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can.
No. I. He's probably he's probably lucky he works from home, given that he has all this lunch food, and by all this lunch food he means the same instant soup he had every time he remembered to eat lunch, and that he's not now really trying to ration, and that he's now trying to ration, so he's eating it more like a weird breakfast. Yeah, weird breakfast that is also lunch and also sort of dinner. The fact that this is easting more regular than usual, given the whole, what it's like outside, that's got to count for something, doesn't it? I think it's supposed to be eating more regular than usual. Given the whole
Somehow.
it's like outside. That's got to count for something, doesn't it? It definitely can't just count for nothing. That would be silly, and that would mean Mumbo has nothing to be optimistic about. Just a whole lot of guilt. And fear. And even more fear on top of that, really. He has to have something to be optimistic about. Anything at all.
There's a scream that definitely human outside. Mumbo. He eats his soup. He's almost out of soup. Eating it is mechanical. It tastes like mud. He finishes his soup. He stares at the empty can. This sort of thing is really funny. He can't go outside for days sometimes entirely on his own. No apocalypse to come at all. No apocalypse to cause it at all. He gets really, really into his work sometimes, you see, and then doesn't feel like leaving, even though he really ought to. So it isn't so bad, really. The screaming stops. It's worse than the screaming. This isn't so bad. Oh, who is he kidding? Not even himself. Not that there is anyone else to kid. He hasn't even gotten a message from his coworkers in days, let alone his friends. Gran. BRB.
I
You want me to
realized
jump in? Yeah?
something. I read that
Uh-huh.
whole thing while being muted.
No.
Not
Were
from
you?
you, but from the stream. I read that whole thing while being muted from the stream. And it was just weirdly silent. Do you want to read that? Do you want to read those paragraphs that I just read?
I was gonna try and see. Wait.
I was muted.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh god, no.
I muted myself because I had to, like, while you were reading, I had to do something at the door, and then I forgot to unmute myself.
Oh, and you did so great too.
Yeah, it was a good performance. Do you want to read it? Yeah, do you want to reread what I read?
Yeah, I'll reread what you read, and then do you want me to continue with my 3, or do you want to jump in after?
You can continue reading after.
Okay. Of all the stupid last things for Green to have said, before everything went wrong, too, of all the things to say, if Mumbo had lived closer, had been braver, had realized what was happening early on, maybe he could have gone to check. But Green hadn't even said if what he'd left was. But Green hadn't even said if what he'd left was for. What he'd.
But Green hadn't even said if what he'd left for was, yeah.
God, why was I screwing up on that line?
It's good. It was weird grammar. Yeah.
Was a microwave pizza or strange noise or the twisting and the changing that everyone outside seems to have been undergoing. Maybe it had been Green's cat. Maybe Green's computer crashed. Maybe Green was dead and no, he can't go thinking like that, now can he? Even given, well, the screaming outside and what little Mumbo had seen of what had happened to his neighbors and the occasional pounding on the door. Mumbo had not left his apartment in days because of those things. Maybe Green just lost power and had good sense not to get into anything. Green lives sort of in a less populated area than Mumbo does, anyways. So he's not in nearly as much danger as Mumbo is, and Mumbo's still alive. Sort of. Sick of soup.
He's still alive. Sort of. Keep going.
Sick of soup. Yeah. Sick of soup, sure. A ticking clock to demise is what it is. A ticking clock to demise is what he is. If whatever is happening around here is caused by the water or something, well, unless Mumbo's immune or something, he's really screwed, isn't he? Because Mumbo didn't think to pull out the Brita he normally is too lazy to use until like 3 days in, when it hit him that the top water probably wasn't safe anymore. Even then, if it's weird mutating water, the filter pitcher probably wouldn't save Mumbo. Or maybe it's over. Maybe Green is dead.
Maybe everyone Mumbo knows is dead, and he's locked himself in his tomb, and the last thing he's going to know are his terrible soup that tastes like mud and the flickering of a computer screen. Who knows? Maybe Mumbo sure doesn't. If he did, he certainly would have figured it out by now. It's all he's had to think about for the past week at least. The fact that he's dying. Oh dear, that's morbid, isn't it? Maybe he'll work up the nerve to do more than send one message to all his friends, asking where they are. Maybe he can send another one, and another one after that, and someone will answer. Or maybe they still won't, and...
Mama hears knocking at the door again. He wants to tell it he's not here. The door shakes. A loud scraping, a louder scraping, a howling sound to scream. He's not used to the screams. He's not used to the screams. It leaps again. Mumbo buries his head in his arms. He doesn't know what to do.
Damn. This is very much Mumbo has a breakdown the fic.
Yay!
Which is part of the reason why I thought it'd be good to read it with you, because I know you like that kind of stuff. It's just his mental descent. But like there's other stuff that happens. It's just this is very much like the introductory chapter.
Yep.
So the introductory chapter is just him going crazy.
I mean, fair enough. If he's locked in, like, in his apartment or apartment
his shitty ass
for
apartment
days,
with the same food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Nodders. Mans is not having a fun time.
He's not having a good time.
Okay. Mumbo's power had started flickering. Really, this had probably been a while coming. At best, Mumbo can tell there aren't any people to man the power stations anymore. So really, the power flickering is to be expected. It means Mumbo can't safely leave all his electronics plugged in. His work laptop, his desktop. He plugs in every single power bank he owns. He owns 7 somehow, in a futile attempt to make sure they're all entirely charged before the world ends. Or, well, the power goes out. Well, it's already ended, hasn't it? What will he do when the power goes out? His weather app isn't updating properly anymore, and he doesn't own a proper thermometer. Who owns a thermometer in his 7th floor apartment, right? He just checks his phone, really. No need to hang measuring instruments out of his window to inevitably drop them on some poor passerby. Except, well, that's really backfired now, hasn't it? It's summer, at least, so it can't possibly be getting so cold that a lack of power will kill him.
Lack of refrigeration for food would, but Mumbo's fridge is embarrassingly empty anyways. Should really do something about that. He would, if he wasn't going to die here. No, that's very pessimistic. Look how many power packs he has, and how much soup. In fact, there are other things he could do. He could pull out his old electrical engineering and mechanics kits. Here he has a toolbox, a Raspberry Pi, and a number of small soldering parts are scattered on his table. He's been trying to finish an old project, the one he promised to give Grian the next time they see each other. The talking parrot with very terrible AI. Now, by AI, Mumbo doesn't mean a learning algorithm so much as something about as smart as a Roomba with slightly more complicated decision tree, but Grian wasn't gonna get it though, which rather put a damper in things, doesn't it? He promised Green he would get it finished.
If you're wondering why the fic is called what it is. Mumbo's like, I'm gonna make a gift for my friend and now I can't anymore and I'm gonna cry. So you know.
Yee!
He hears the rain hit the top of his AC unit. He has the AC turned off. He's saving power. He knows it won't help should the power go out, but it makes him feel better. It's not safe to leave his work computer plugged in, right? That's what he was doing, wasn't it? Plugging it. Of course, if he does that, his status will show Oz offline, instead of just idle or online. And what if someone tried to message him? He won't see it. He could get it set up on his phone, right? He has 6 power bricks. He can keep his phone charged.
I thought he had 7.
I know, he said he had 7 earlier, and now it's 6. Did he use one up already? Or did he lose count? I feel like that shows how mindless he is in this moment. He is very, like, not in the right mind.
Why does that have to be the thing my brain catches?
You're like, wait a second, that doesn't match up. You go.
Yeah, I just got it just hit me for a second. Green, BRB. Mumbo considers. He takes a deep breath. Mumbo Jumbo. Hey guys, I'm unplugging my computer because there might be a power surge, but you should still be able to get to me on my pager. Mumbo Jumbo. Be okay, please. He hovers over the last message. He considers deleting it. It sounds a bit childish, doesn't it? Asking them to be okay like that. The world is scary right now, though. He can be a bit childish this one time, can't he? He just wants anyone to answer. He sits there for almost half an hour, hoping someone will answer. Anyone at all. Green, BRB. They don't.
This is all really stupid, he says, his voice sounding hoarse. How should I do my mama voice? It'd be like, Mama, Mama Jumbo. This is all really stupid, he says, his voice sounding hoarse. He's been the only person he can talk to lately, and it means he's done quite a bad job of doing it. Either talking too much and hurting his throat, or talking none at all and hurting his throat worse. He didn't know not using something can make it hurt that bad. His poor social skills. All this, really, after only several days of talking to no one at all? The power flickers again. Mo lets himself yelp out loud, and then giggles softly to himself. Oh ho ho, I'm in a very bad place, aren't I? He rubs his face. He's so tired. But he can't just sleep. Just sleeping through every day will make him sick. And he's run out of ways to sleep. Maybe he should go back to trying to work on his circuit boards. Hears a noise outside and jumps again. He smooths out his shirt and looks at his soldering kit.
Maybe he shouldn't be holding a device that heats metals to 400 degrees where there are things happening that could startle him. No, but working on circuit boards is calming. He can put aside his current project. The bird toy was a joke, anyways. He can't get it to green, anyways. He'll just work on some of his other electronic projects. Yeah, he does have that off-brand Roomba he keeps tinkering with. He's not sure if it works as a vacuum cleaner anymore, but it definitely works as several other things. He doesn't unplug his computer. He knows he needs to. If a power surge kills his laptop, well, he can't really afford to reimburse his boss, and there's a lot of good information on that machine. He should really shut it down. Save power. Momo's power packs aren't good enough to power a laptop, really, but not long term. His phone, sure, but not his laptop. He breathes in, he breathes out. He goes back to tearing apart and rewiring the Roomba again. He lets the metal parts scatter on the floor around him in the humid apartment. He leaves an ear open. Maybe someone will respond. Maybe someone will. He doesn't know. The power flickers again.
The power goes out. The soldering iron in Mumbo's hand abruptly turns off. Great. That's gonna be a pain to fix later. Oh, his laptop. It's still working. It didn't surge. The screen dimmed, though, and is awkwardly showing black. And great. His microwave won't work. He breathes in. He breathes out. There's no response from anyone. He shuts down the laptop. His windows are blocked, so he has to use his phone as a flashlight to make sure he doesn't kill his feet on something he's put on the ground. At least his water is still working. He can't smell or see anything currently burning, so there probably isn't anything that is urgent for him to fix at the moment. Except perhaps the places where the metal he'd been soldering isn't in the right state anymore. And why did he do that while the power was flickering? He unplugs his power packs one by one. Stupid. He's going to die here. He opens his phone up.
Korean, BRB. He hears something scream outside. He hears. There are too many footsteps. There are too many leagues. They shuffle down the hallways. His power is out now. He only has a limited supply of food, and he hears the feet scrape against the ground, circling outside of his apartment. He covers his mouth. He'd gotten too loud earlier, probably. He has his windows blocked and his door is deadbolted, and he's gotten too loud, and they know he's in here. Gods, they're his neighbors too, or were his neighbors. He's not sure they're the same people anymore, but they'd know they're this. There's this weird computer engineer who works on an obscure research job from home and barely talks, and oh dear, he's not sure if he even knows enough of his neighbors well enough to stop them from hurting him when they're like that, and the scraping circles his door, and Mumbo barely dares to breathe, and he could just hear him. It leaves. He thinks going to die in this stupid city apartment. He's going to die in a place he hadn't really wanted to actually be in, and he hasn't even allowed to leave in too long. He's going to die here, and he doesn't even know if anyone's still alive to miss him.
I just I just want to point out, um well, okay, give me a second. I'm reading the wrong one.
No, you're fine.
Never mind. Anyways, there was a thing that I thought that was like a hint, and I'm like, no, that could be interpreted a different way. Anyways, he makes a strange noise in the back of his throat and curls his knees up to his chest. He needs. He doesn't want to die, though, is the thing. He doesn't. He doesn't want to die, not knowing what's happened, without knowing where Green went, without. He doesn't want to die. He is going to die
He's
here.
going to. He puts his head between his knees. He's going to die here. Great. He's going to slowly starve to death, and no one will know. No one will know. No one. No one. And then his phone pings.
He almost doesn't recognize the sound. And then, all at once, he does. He scrambles to open his messenger. Please, please, what? Green. Green. Green, duh. Mumbo stares at it for several minutes. It's entirely incomprehensible. It might not be Green. It probably isn't Green. The only reason Mumbo isn't dead is because he's locked in an apartment and he isn't sure his neighbors know he lives here to go after him. He is going to die here. Green is probably already dead. The messages were probably a monster or a very ambitious rat.
I'm sorry. I'm clearly reading the word help in that second message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I
Yep.
see you got that. Like, I didn't get that my first read through, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, like,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at like what letters are near each other for certain messages, you can kind of guess at what was trying to be typed.
Yep. And for me, I'm just like, oh, he's fat fingering. Well, I mean, he's in a rush. No shit.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Yeah. There it is. Mumbo barely thinks before he scrambles to respond. Mumbo Jumbo. Gran, where are you? Mumbo Jumbo. Are you alive? Mumbo Jumbo. Gran? Predictably, there's no answer. Mumbo's heart pounds. He stares at his phone. He tries not to cry. It's the first message he's gotten in far too long, and it's incomprehensible nonsense. He'd say that's just like Grian, but he doesn't really think Grian meant to do that. Bizarre and frankly confused pranks are all Grian, but cruelty really isn't. And Mumbo thinks Grian would know where the line is here. Not telling Mumbo that he's alive is cruel. Grian couldn't have meant to, but he could have meant to send the message. He could have meant to be telling Mumbo something.
Or he could have meant nothing at all. It might not even be Green. What's the point? Mumbo stares at his phone for a while. He looks across the room. The soft glow of his phone illuminates the scattered parts of both the Roomba and the parrot toy. There are pictures of the wall of the last time he hung out with Iskall. There's that stupid mustache poster Iskall bought him. There's the silly Mumbo for Mayor poster Grian made that one time to confuse their coworkers with. Outside, he hears something scratching at the walls again. He looks down at his phone. That
was...
Wait.
Sorry.
Do you want to?
I thought that was 3.
You know,
I don't
you're
mind.
good. You go.
That was through the work messaging system, which means Mumbo can log in and figure out if it was sent from Green's normal location. So he does. It's from Green's townhouse. Townhouse. I did read it right the first time. Or at least from Green's IP, which means what? Green lives a good distance away, at least 12 hours by car. And Mumbo doesn't own one of those. The bus system obviously is out right now. There are monsters outside who used to be Mumbo's neighbors. If Green isn't dead, he's probably a monster too. and Mumbo's yet to see proof that any of the beasts are sentient.
Or
Sapient.
sapient. Yeah.
Yeah, sentient. He glances back towards his kitchen with all this terrible soup.
This is a horrible idea.
He says quietly, and he walks to his closet and pulls out the biggest backpack he still owns.
The door is blocked. So are the windows. But he doesn't want to die. And something sent him a message from Green's location. I absolutely will get eaten, or killed, or just die of radiation or something if I go outside, he says. I will have to walk, unless I find a working car I can... Do I even know how to how to hotwire a car? I know you normally have to hack modern ones, not hotwire them. He starts packing his energy bars into his bag, and a large water bottle with a filter on it. Every one of his power packs. He sticks his laptop in the bag, thinks better of it, and leaves the laptop in the apartment. His phone can manage most of that. He does, however, stick his soldering kit in the bag. Maybe it will be useful? Pocket knife, certainly, and the stupid stuffed parrot he'd brought for the joke project. He can bring that too. And a notebook to write down directions to Green's address. Yes, in case his phone goes dead. I mean, really, what's so bad about staying here? Sure, I hear, terrifying noises and I don't have power anymore, but I won't be killed in here. I'll just run out of food eventually, and by then, really, maybe the apocalypse will be solved? Do you want to read the paragraph? I was reading his dialogue.
Yeah. No, you're good. Sorry, I just lost it. He realizes he missed a change of clothes. He is probably not going to care if he smells a bit bad, but he definitely needs a spare set in case he gets drenched in something toxic, which would seem unlikely, but he is in a city. Of what little he's seen of things outside, well, they seem like they probably count as chemicals he doesn't want held against his skin. Oh, he should probably grab his windbreaker too, the one they gave him as a signing perk or something when he joined the company. That would be good if it rains and will be easier to clean than cloth. He's packed his bag entirely. He feels something burning beneath the skin. This is the most motivated he's felt in at least a week. He stares at his door, blocked up and deadbolted. He swallows.
I do need a map,
He says, and he pulls out his graph paper and starts painstakingly writing out the instructions of how to get from his apartment to Green's townhouse. They need to be exact. He needs to be able to follow them, even if it's even worse than he thinks it is out there. It's a long walk, a truly absurd walk, really, so he'll probably also need to steal some kind of transportation at some point. He will certainly get lost. He'll probably be killed before he starves. He should not do this.
He hears something click on the floor beneath it. He thinks of the soup that tastes like guilt, or mud. They're really quite similar flavors, aren't they? There's a fire in his soul. He makes a decision.
He doesn't want to die at all. He really doesn't want to do that, which, of course, makes the world really, truly terrifying these days, because death seems pretty inevitable in a myriad of different, absurd, terrible ways. But here's the thing. His apartment is safer for now, but even if it's never broken into at all, he has no power and will eventually run out of food. If he's going to die, he will not do so slowly. He will not do it slowly, trapped in a box of his own design. And sure, if he goes outside, his death will be much faster, and likely much more brutal. And really, he does not want to think about it at all, because the level of horrible it will be is probably absolutely horrific. But if he dies outside, he will have died on his feet. He will have died trying.
He takes out his earring, looks at the electronics in them. Earrings are a liability at this point, and he's leaving the apartment by a much greater distance than these things were meant to track anyways. It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing's the same. You should probably acknowledge that. He smashes the thing with a hammer for good measure, before cataloging everything in his bag one more time. He's made a decision. Mumbo Jumbo, if you see this and you're alive, I'm coming. Mumbo Jumbo, whoever left, tell me where you are if you can. Mumbo Jumbo, I'm not staying here doing nothing. Mumbo Jumbo, I'm coming. After thinking for a moment, he adds one more thing.
Should I?
Yeah.
Mumbo Jumbo, I did promise you'd get my bird when it was done.
Yay! That's the prologue. That was the prologue. Give it kudos as usual. Well, it's the first chapter, but it feels very much like a prologue to me.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, there you go.
Eee!
There it is. Wow. Holy shenanigans. Yes. Also, Jervy commented, I can't take this seriously with a name like Mumbo Jumbo Lamau.
I know, and I replied.
Yeah. Yeah, his name is Mumbo Jumbo. Like, he's literally, like... His name is literally...
Oh, you know, just some Mumbo Jumbo.
Yeah, his name is literally bullshit. I've gotten so used to hearing his name because I watch the videos that I'm like, I don't think of it that way, but like, yeah. Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah. Just a little, you know.
Yee.
Just a, you know, just a little quirky.
It's just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Notes, tomorrow, the stairwell. Let's go, finally getting the show on the road. Also preserving the original out here, but just realized the fic, it no longer says this anywhere. So, if you want to ask me for any spoilers at all before reading, because the tags still leave you unsure if you can / want to invest in a 78k of a fic, hit me up on Tumblr in private and I'll do that for you. Which is very kind.
Yee, that is for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I kind of stared and I'm like, I could binge this in a night. Maybe like an hour and a half to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, wait, I have work. And also, it's kind of fun to read this blind.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't know when we're doing this next.
Yee.
We're doing this next.
I want to do it again sometime, although it'll probably be like a week from now.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Do you want to read the next chapter, or are we good for the night?
Let's see. We started at about 2 hours ago.
Well, it was more like 1 hour ago.
No. Was it?
Yeah. Well, maybe like 1.5, but yeah. It was like 1 hour ago.
Huh. Okay. I'm up to it. I just don't know how long each of the chapters are. Oh, just about 3,000 words. That's not too bad.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah, 78 divided by 16. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. It's closer to 5,000.
Oof. Do you think we can get through that?
Very...
It's okay if we can't. Do you think we can get through that? Like, I'd be okay doing that, but I want to know if you're okay doing that. Because it's an investment.
I really want to. I really, really want to. But
you also have responsibilities.
I'm gonna be waking up in about 7-8 hours.
Yeah,
currently, if I went to bed right now.
Yeah. Okay. Next time we'll start on chapter 2 then.
Yay! Thank you. I'm sorry. I want to. I really, really want to.
You're good. I want to too, but yeah, no. Duty calls. Christ.
I hate this. Like, this one is literal duty in the terms of bullshit. But...
like Mumbo Jumbo.
Yeah,
clarification, I love Mumbo Jumbo. It's literally his name. Literally his name is... what would you say? Like a kid's bopified version?
No, it's just Mumbo Jumbo.
It's Mumbo Jumbo.
It's Mumbo Jumbo.
But yeah. So we'll continue
It's
this next
just a
time.
mumbo jumbo. What are you talking about?
So next time we'll start on the stairwell.
Yay!
All right.
All
Do
right.
you have anything else you want to say? Any commentary?
Not really. I really like how it's written so far, mostly just because of like the initialized horror and swing of just like this is a really stupid idea. I shouldn't be doing this, but he's going along with it because it's either he does something or he's just gonna die, and he's gonna die either way. Is he just gonna die, like he said, in a box of his own design, or is he gonna actually try and take matters into his own hands and at
Mm-hmm.
least attempt to meet maybe the only person who's seemingly reached out to him that hasn't talked to him for a while now?
Mm-hmm.
At least with an attempt, he can maybe see him.
I I I like that a lot because I feel like that's kind of part of his whole arc, basically, because it's like it's very clear from the first chapter that he is a very flip-floppy person, which
Mm-hmm.
you know is understandable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
also like it's very clear that he is very wishy-washy, and like this is like one of the biggest decisions he's probably made in his life, and it's like trying to
Mm-hmm.
see what he does about that is interesting. um
Yeah.
so yeah.
Eve, what about you? Closing thoughts?
um there were some mentions of like there were some references to Hermitcraft. Like specifically season 6, when they were talking about the like it was like season 7 is the Mumbo for Mayor. Season 6
Mm-hmm,
is
mm-hmm.
like the connection with Iskal because it's like Sahara. But yeah, I just just a few references plugged in that don't really matter in the plot, but
Yeah, it's just a nice touch.
yeah.
Just a callback to, oh yeah, all of this that it's related to and
Yeah.
loosely based.
It shows that
Yeah.
there's a backstory behind everything, even if we aren't seeing the bulk of it. There's
Yep.
something that has happened, like things that have happened before, but we just haven't seen them.
Right.
But yeah,
Yep, yep, yep.
those are my closing thoughts. That seems to be it. I will bid you guys adieu. Have a good night. And we're off.